find some of my American students in UCC around the market sometimes, okay? And when they run into the fish market, they all start going for gold and they start gagging. Somehow there's such a kind of a divergence away from the world of fish. That's the truth people can pass it, okay? So the fish market is a really, really interesting part. It was much bigger before, okay? We used to have more communities there at the end of the day. My mother used to call them the Fury brothers, was the different kids, and Ballycoffey have moved now on where they were before. This was once the entire fish market, slowly eroding away. We have the big fish merchants here, O'Connell's on the left-hand side, Kale
Lovely salmon mousse
yeah.
and stuff there, you know.
We're going to talk about that. Just behind me here is Frank Hitchens. Okay? Frank is a good fan of mine. And Frank, about 25 years ago, in a shed, in a farm shed, down in Benhelly, near Cork, started smoking fish. Okay? He might be smoking something else as well. Smoking fish, essentially. Okay? And one of the things that Frank started to do was that he was literally getting fresh salmon, okay? Coming along with a little pliers, surgical pliers, very, very carefully finishing the fish and taking out all the little bones, okay? Salting down that fish, hanging them up, okay? And smoking them over some peach and some oak, and giving them a really nice flavor. A simple, traditional process, okay? And other people at this point in time were taking fish and they were spraying it with a brown smoked flavor, what's called artificial smoke. I have a bottle on my shelf at home. And that's when you get a lot of smoked haddock and smoked choline and so on. You see it's got that sense of being artificially dyed. Thank you. So one of the things all Frank was doing was that he was very actually doing something quite traditional and honestly and sincerely. And what happened is that people began to taste his product. Ballymaloo started to take Frank's fish. Other restaurants started to take his fish. Then he started to sell it to various people. All of a sudden, other restaurateurs and so on, he got a reputation. He got an invitation from Fortnum and Mason in London to come along. And all of a sudden, Frank started to, his business went from a varnish shed into producing a really fine product. Okay? Why? Simple idea done well. Okay? And secondly, what's happened is that he then started smoking anything that he could smoke. The secret of smoking is that anything with fat in it will take on the taste of the smoke, okay? So salmon is a really good fish to smoke, trout is really good. But Frank started smoking mussels, he started smoking butter, okay? He started smoking cheeses, he started smoking garlic, he started smoking anything that you could imagine, and started experimenting, and then from that came a number of smoked mousses and concoctions and so on and so forth, okay? So really it's great credit, and it just shows you if you sometimes the traditions of the past are really very useful to us in the present, and we'll pay money for that, okay? So we have two fish stalls here, okay? We'll go up along through and we'll just have a look at those as we go along, all right?
Right.
It's been laid out for about 4 months, you know. With a lucky call. Got it done. Yeah, I mean back to 100%. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's it. And that's we're looking at it now and then. I'm back kind of full throttle again now. Yeah, that's the job. So no,
Big good. Hi guys.
Where's the photo of the Queen?
you don't need,
Oh, it's a
you
small.
don't need the Queen anymore.
Come on, I'm here. You don't have to worry about it.
That's squeeze in this way for me. She's at home. Yeah, keep coming in. Make sure people can pass behind you, lads. Come on. Come on, squeeze in. Tighter. Come on, in. Squeeze. Yeah. So we stopped here, okay, outside O'Connor's. Pat has become maybe kind of a celebrity, obviously, from meeting the Queen. But in fact, it's done the market no harm at all. The Queen's visit really, I suppose, in many ways gave the market an international sort of perspective. And that's a really healthy thing. And the fact that Pat has kept that sort of idea going, and he's raised a lot of money for charity and other sort of things like that. But in terms of fish, really, we were talking yesterday about Ireland being about the same size as Singapore, and the difference between the island of Singapore and the consumption of fish versus what we do in Ireland. Fish has always been considered to be kind of a famine food, or a fast day food, or something we associate with Fridays, Dehina, and then you had on Cédina, Wednesdays, so both Wednesdays and Fridays were fish days, and people ended up associating that with stuff that you had to do rather than stuff that you wanted to do. So fish became a punitive thing, and we still have that mentality in our heads. Secondly, in a time before refrigeration and transportation, fish was always salted fish. It wasn't fresh fish, and you couldn't get it. Okay? Even the railways had difficulty. By the time fish made its way, into the Midlands or anything like that, it was rancid. It was gone off. So people have they're afraid of fish, but that's changing, and it's changing radically. You can see here this little cabinet. This has got to do with the health and safety regulations. Not only do you buy fish here, but Pat and his brother, the two of them, they are now doing a lot of filleting and giving fish to restaurants. Okay, so this unit here is all about hygiene and so on. But I think more and more fish dishes are now available in restaurants, and that reflects people's appreciation of fish. What it doesn't reflect, however, is people's ability to cook fish. Okay, so that's a craft, that's a skill. And you have to, in any craft and skill, you have to practice that, and if people are out of practice in cooking. So cooking is something we'll talk about in terms of living tradition as well. In addition to, you just see here up on top, you see bacala, okay, or the what we call in Cork battleboard. This is a member of the cod family. It's lean and it's salted, okay, and this is a tradition that we have for fast days. So this is our stockfish. It's a really beautiful fish, and what you do is you take it and you soak it in water, take the salt out, you keep on changing it and keep on changing, and you come back to a really chunky, beautiful member of the cod family. And well worth but you need to know how to prepare it and so on. So that's still done here, and that's still local fish and traditionally done by the lads here. Behind me and in the stall behind, if you're only interested in having a sandwich or something small, you can come here to the sandwich stall, and just like Kay Hart, they will take all the produce from the market, the breads that you will get, the lovely cheeses that you will get, the salads you will get, local produce again, and you can sit down and you can have your soup and so on. So if you're only interested in having a quick sandwich, this is a fantastic stall to look at. Okay, so what we'll do is, if you bear with me, I'll talk about it here, and then you can have a look at it. Okay, around the corner is perhaps the real interesting catalyst behind the development of the market in the modern sense. Okay, and that is Toby Simmons' stall. Toby, about, again, 20-25 years ago, his father went to Spain or Italy, one or the other, and was involved with an olive farm there, okay? And Toby went over and he learned how to marinate olives, okay? How to take the stone out of them, how to stuff them and so on with pimento and so on. And what essentially happened was that he began about 25 years ago importing olives, importing olive oil. I remember when he started, he got 6 small barrels and he had 6 varieties of olives. Very quickly over time, that developed and developed. He started to bring in tapenades, he started to bring in stuffed vine leaves, he started to bring in seaweeds and soaps and so on. And in a moment you'll see the olive company stall, and they use a huge variety of olives and Mediterranean type of food. And he singularly has changed the palate. People now will come in. Toby Simmons. And one of the really interesting things is that he was doing mozzarella from Italy, and he found out that very quickly by bringing buffalo cattle to a farmer down in Tunesbridge, down in West Cork, or North Cork if you want to call it that, they started to produce their own mozzarella, and you get really nice fresh mozzarella made in Cork from Tunesbridge from buffalo cattle. So what you have is you have someone bringing in a food tradition, creating a brand, and then changing someone who was in a bad state of affairs as a farmer, who is now developed and has developed a new product. In addition to that, the olive stall has started to reproduce itself around the farmers' markets, whether it's in the potato market or the milk market in Limerick, or any of the farmers' markets, Man Point, you name it, all around the country. Temple Bar in Dublin. This is a huge phenomenon, all run out of one small community group down in West Cork. This is phenomenal. So what I want you to do is take a little look as we walk around. We'll have a glance at Newlands. If we stay there too long, we'll actually break. The market will come to a halt. We'll go back out to the other gate, and I'll finish up there. Okay, so we'll go this.
I don't really eat fish. Fights broke out. I'm all about them proteins. Yeah.
Them gain like when you're on about
because they wanted to give us some attacking chances.
one of the few players like you actually have like plays now.
I like your photographic technique.
Yeah, it's quick.
Yeah. Okay. Gather in one more minute for me, okay? So, what I just want to finish off with two points to you, and then maybe I'll ask you to go back in yourself and roam around, because as a group it's really difficult to appreciate things. But I don't want you just to run away, okay? I want you to spend some time looking at all the different stalls and what's available and what's there, okay? One very important point I want you to put to you, okay? Some time ago, there's a shop inside the market here. It's called the Organic Shop. It was developed by a group of students from UCC under the trademark name as Bunalun. They began in Skibbereen and they came up to the market here. And you would say, and I would say, oh, organic food is great. Okay, that's really a great idea. Blah blah blah. But when they set up their shop, their stall, they began to actually set it up as a shop. And there's a difference between a stall and a shop. A shop is something where you go around with your basket, you pick things up, and you put it in, and you go up to a cashier, and you pay the money, and you go out with your plastic bag, goodbye, okay? A stall demands that you have an interaction with the stall holder, okay? They pick it out for you, they prepare it for you, they tell you about it, and so on. And when they started up the organic shop, a lot of the traders had a big dispute and they had led by Iagos, who were now moved out. Sean Calder Potts in Prince Street. But the campaign is called Stalls Not Walls. Stalls Not Walls. And the difference here is that you and I can go into Tesco 24 hour at 3 o'clock in the morning with our basket. We can wander around on our own lonely self. We can pick up anything that we want, and we can go. We don't even have to talk to someone. We can actually check
Electronic,
out ourselves on the checkout. And there's something about society, you and I included, where we've all kind of moved away from social interaction. Okay, that there's somehow we're shy, or we're lacking confidence, or we couldn't be bothered, or we're lazy, or we're uncomfortable about having to deal with people. Okay, and what that's doing really is it's taking away a major integral part of how we work as a community, as a society. It's why people are maybe suffering from depression, why certain people are faced with suicide and so on. And to me, the market is an important resource where you're forced to meet people, and when you do, it's fun. You know, like I would know each and every one of the market holders. I don't shop there all the time, but when I walk through, someone says, "How's it going, Shane? How are things?" And you know, you might spot something, you chat to them, and so on and so forth. So, I won't. I often see Tom hanging around the supermarket. Would you like me to pack your bag? I know. But I do want to emphasize, okay, if I said two more things, okay? Two other things I want to emphasize as you go back in. O'Mahony's here. O'Mahony's to me are singularly the best butchers in the entire market, okay? Even though O'Mahony is a young butcher here, okay? But his mother is Kathleen Bresnan, okay? She's one of the Bresnans, okay? And they know how to finish cattle. They buy the cattle. They finish it on their own farm down in Carrigaline, okay? They have their own abattoir, okay? So they finish the cattle, they butcher the cattle, they hang the beef for the right number of days, okay? So 28 days to let the lactic acid break down the fatty tissues and so on. Butchering is a craft, it's a skill, okay? If you go in, and here we go, Tom, I'm going to hit the supermarket. If you go into Super Value, or if you go into one of those certain spots, right? One of the things that happens is there's a young guy, and I'm not denigrating him in any way, and he's slicing meat. He's got a piece of meat which has been wrapped up, already been heat processed. It's a piece of strip loin or whatever, because that's what people want to buy. And what they're doing is that he is simply doing his job, but he knows nothing about where the animal came from, how long it was hung. He doesn't know about the different he doesn't know about the different aspects of the butchering and so on. Okay? So O'Mahony's a really good butcher. The second point to make about them is that if you go to Germany, if you go to Italy, if you go to Spain, there are different cuts of meat. Each butcher, each country has its own way. The O'Mahony's he's trained in all of those countries, and if you're used to a particular cut of meat, he'll cut it the way for you. So you will see Anglais, you'll see different bravets, you'll see different French cuts of meat here that you won't find elsewhere. Okay? So that's really important. Last little point is on your way in, have a look at Newlands. Newlands specialise in offal food or offal cuts, breasts of offal, skirts, kidneys, tails, beans, all of those sort of things, okay? And if you go on to Moodle tonight, read the paper called I Eat It Like Chocolate. That's the particular food that's being described, okay? I'll see you tomorrow, what time? 9 o'clock. I see you tomorrow. Okay.
Hopefully the weather won't be too bad tomorrow morning.
Won't it? Good. Our meteorologist says the weather is good. Okay?
Well, I don't know if it will or not. Hopefully I'll